may sound like I hate Stingray, but the truth is, every night I stare at that poster of his face on my ceiling over my bed next to Jesus, and then I have to stare at my wife, who probably wants a divorce. But that's all right. We'll just go back to being cousins, baby.
Welcome inside another edition of Third and Three, everybody. I am Stephen Ray, and over there is Clemson Tom, and on the other side is Joey. And guys, let's just go on ahead and talk about it. What were your thoughts this past weekend about college football? And real quick, before we get into that, I think we need to go on ahead and give a big round of applause to the Clemson Tigers for finally winning a football game against a meaningless opponent.
Good job. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Sting. That was awesome. Really excited. You know, we definitely got a win, and it is what it is. I'm very excited. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We're very excited to finally get our win. We have yet to give up a touchdown. That's all I'm going to say.
So, and by the way, you guys played Georgia Tech this weekend. How bad are they going to lose to Georgia Tech?
We're not going to lose to Georgia Tech. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here.
You almost lost to them. Everybody else might as well lose to the Bumblebees. What are we doing today?
John shirt. Where's your FUBU jersey? You going to say that for Sunday?
So, obviously, we are hot off week number 2 of college football, and I would love to get your thoughts on the biggest surprises from this past weekend, and I will actually start first on this one. I am really surprised by the way the Oregon Ducks was physical on both sides of the football up there in Columbus, Ohio. They pushed around the Ohio State Buckeyes and actually won that football game. They averaged 7 yards per rush. That's impressive for a team out of a conference that has been have a knock on them of not being able to hold up in the trenches. Oregon and Mario Cristobal have definitely turned the corner up there in Eugene, and they very well could be a team to be reckoned with towards the end of the season and the 14 playoff.
Sorry, I thought my gate was open. My dogs are outside, and they weren't barking, and so I was like, "Holy shit, they're gone."
Oh,
they're here. So I haven't barked in forever. Whole it's open because we had a guy come do yard work today.
is that how you used to lock up your dates?
Anyways, count by now. 5, 4, 3.
There's no counting that.
I would say my biggest surprise was the fact that Jacksonville State just took it to Florida State on a Hail Mary, and 2 guys couldn't tackle one guy. I mean, the guy got blocked at the end, but it was almost like I felt like Florida State gave up. Like he caught the ball, and they're just like, "Well, we lost." I'm like, "Tackle the man, get him down," and then the guy ends up proposing after the loss. I mean, it is what it is. So Florida State, they've proven that if you punch them in the face hard enough, they will fold. So I honestly thought they were a little bit better because I thought Notre Dame was better, but then Notre Dame ended up showing me what they were last week. So now I'm no longer worried about Florida State this year. If you punch them hard enough in the face, it's over. If you hit them twice on the chin, they fold.
Anybody see that shit coming?
Yeah, I did.
Of course you did. Well, I get it. Clemson Tom did see Oregon. He did.
Jacksonville State's not a pushover school. Like a lot of kids go there to play because they can start instead of going to a bigger school. Like it's almost like an App State, but they're not a bad program. Did I think they were going to win? No. Did I think they would keep it somewhat competitive? Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be competitive.
I thought they were going to at least keep it competitive.
Well, guys, it is another year in college football, and yet another coach is on the chopping block as the USC Trojans, after their embarrassing loss and their embarrassing performance against Stanford this past weekend, has fired Clay Helton. What are your thoughts on the firing of Clay Helton? And ultimately, who do you think they should go after out there in the land of Los Angeles?
I didn't know who he was when I forgot Southern Cal had a football team. Maybe that's why he got fired. I don't even week 2. I mean, what did he? I have no clue. What did he do to get fired?
They got beat and embarrassed by Stanford, who won only 2 games last year.
Okay, cool. When's Urban Meyer going to start coaching them? Next week?
Yeah, that thought hadn't. I mean, that's a good choice right there.
I mean, that's what we all know. We just saw him on the sidelines. Urban loses a game, and he's like, I don't know what to do. And it's Urban liar. He's a jabroni. He can win, and when he's in college, as soon as he sees a horizon starting to slip down, he's heart attack. I got to spend more time with my family. But yeah, I'll go ahead and work for ESPN, and where I'm gone every Thursday through Sunday. But yeah, I want to spend more time with family. My heart hurts.
You know, guys, there's a lot of talk over the last few days about Coach Mullen of the Florida Gators, who have a big game with Alabama this weekend. Dan Mullen actually being interested in the USC job. Now, Coach, I really like Coach Mullen. He was always really nice to me at Mississippi State, but that would be a bad move for USC to hire Coach Mullen, because as a coach, what has he really done championship-wise? Not very much. Now, he does have a national championship and an SEC championship with the Gators under Urban Meyer, but as a coach himself, he really hasn't taken the next step into getting an actual ring himself, so I don't think he is a proven enough yet coach to take on the big leagues of a USC job.
What if he takes the USC job? Urban's now the new head coach for Florida.
Yeah.
Then what?
But would Florida want him back, though? Because his tenure, towards the end of his tenure there, they started going really downhill after Mullen.
What have they done since he's left?
Yeah, and plus Urban Meyer left. He didn't get fired.
Yeah.
People still want Urban Meyer.
He hasn't done anything since he left.
I don't think Urban Meyer – I think he's going to finish out the season with Jacksonville and then realize that he's a college coach and then go. But it's been one game. It's like one game in the NFL. And
it's also their team isn't good. Bottom line, they're not good. Sorry.
Well, look what I don't think he's going to do a Bobby Petrino.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that jackass, I wouldn't compare Urban Meyer to Bobby Petrino, but you know what? He could prove me wrong.
I will say this, though. Another big name out there because of their win this past weekend, Sammy Pittman. Sam Pittman is not going to USC, and here's why. One man, the man who basically runs the state of Texas, Jerry Jones, he's got enough money to match anything that USC throws at Sam Pittman. That's why Arkansas is not a stepping stone job, is because of Mr. Jerry Jones.
Chad Morris. Could be, he's a name. But I think he's back coaching Texas high school football, so he might just want to sit there. And I love Chad. I knew when he was at Clemson. Mm-hmm. I thought he was a damn good offensive coordinator. It's one of those things where, not to say he can't be a head coach, but sometimes that's just where you're a better fit. It just is what it is. Do you have the qualifications to be a head coach? Yes, but you are better suited to do this.
Yes.
Look at Joey. Are you man enough to have a girl? Yeah, but you're better suited to, maybe get an ugly one. It just is what it is. It's not a knock. It's just what God gave you, and you should play those those aces the best way you can, because not a lot of people can pull off a hat and sunglasses inside, but most can.
All right, well, we have a new fan of the show. He is Brian Huda.
Hey, Brian, how you doing today, man?
What's good there, Joseph? I wanted to say that, honestly, I'm a big fan of that there Stingray. I seen what he's done on all them shows, on the Picture Box, on the SEC Network, on the Fancy Magazine, the Sports Illustrated, with colors and stuff. I seen all that. And I aspire to be like Stingray one day. AL.com did a piece on him. Did you know that, Joseph?
No,
Now, it might sound like I hate Stingray, but the truth is, every night I stare at that poster of his face on my ceiling over my bed next to Jesus, and then I have to stare at my wife, who probably wants a divorce. But that's all right. We'll just go back to being cousins, baby.
So tell us a little about the Thunder and Overcast podcast.
Well, listen, that podcast, honestly, I think maybe just Stingray watches it, because I don't know anybody that listens to that dribble. But I gotta say, I do constantly tell my wife, girl, you get that Stingray on that picture box or it's 5 across the eyes.
Wow, Brian. So how did you hear about the CTS?
Well, the truth is that I've been following Stingray religiously on all kinds of social media, and that's how I came across him doing the fancy show, which only inspired my little Overcast podcast, which isn't really hitting any marks, if you know what I mean. But baby, you tell him. Say something. Say something for the fans. Don't laugh. You get 5 across the eyes again. Anyway, she ain't the talking type.
Oh, okay.
She's just nodding and cooking type, making babies. That's what I do. I eat lots of food, and then I make babies, Joseph.
Oh,
Fat little chubby babies.
well, Stingray, it's Clemson Tom. Y'all got any questions for Brian from the Thunder and Overcast podcast?
I ain't never heard of her.
What?
Well,
I do have one thing to say. Thank you for being a fan in Hell State.
Got off on the roof again.
hey, Brian.
Hey, get out that damn roof. Well, I got none but respect for that there Stingray. That man's got it all together.
Brian, I do have a question for you, bud. What kind of things do you like to watch here on the CTS?
Well, I watch all them shows on that there CTS. They were the funniest thing on that there CTS network. I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna write something poetic, but the truth is, Joseph, I got a confession. I ain't
What's
got
that?
no talent.
Wow. Oh, okay, Brian.
But I love me some Stingray.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to let you go, Brian. Thank you for being a fan. But
I hope Stingray never lets me go.
okay. Well, is anything else?
I know how to quit you, Stingray.
Is anything else you like to? Anything else you'd like to tell the fans of the CTS? Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on some Tinder. I also got like 4 pages.
Whoa! What are we talking about? Where can we find the podcast?
Oh, why don't you say that there, Joseph? It's called the Thundering and Overcast Podcast in Mississippi. I don't know if you know how to spell, Joseph, but it's M-I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, I, P-P-I.
Oh, okay. Well,
when I was a kid, I'd pee myself every time I got to the pee-pee part, but I don't do that no more, Stingray.
all right. So Brian, I appreciate you. Joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
I will, Joseph. You know why? Because I'm gonna make me some love right now.
Oh, okay.
Not with her, but the other day I was in my barn.
Oh, really?
And I was going at it, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And then her mom, not knowing, barges into the room. And you know what her mama said?
What?
She said, bah.
Okay, Brian. Brian, we appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you. So we hope you have a good night. See you, Brian.
You don't tell me what to do, Joseph. Have a good night yourself.
Hey, bye. Wow. Stingray, you got some fans, man.
All right, guys, before we head out, we got to tell them our upset picks of the week for this week. And now, obviously, Tom's pick.
Can I go? Can I go first? Can I go first?
No. Hold on. First? We got to tell everybody how we did last week.
Oh, we know how we did last week.
Would you shut up? I'm the host of this show. Tom's pick hit with the Oregon Ducks beating Ohio State.
I called it.
Okay, good.
My pick hit with Arkansas downing the Horns. However, Joey's did not.
Came close.
A&M came back. And
I covered the spread. Did I not tell you Colorado was something to serious?
He did. He did cover the spread. No, he did. You want to check the tape. I think he even said that like they would at least cover the spread. Like it would be competitive. So I mean, technically, that is a win.
So okay, fine.
So
let me go first.
Week 3. Joey, take us away. Upset pick.
I predict Clemson will upset Georgia Tech.
Clemson's favored, you dummy.
Guys, y'all are actually going to look at me like I do you when you make a dumb pick, but I'm telling you, this one this week is actually going to hit. Notre Dame barely beat Florida State 2 weeks ago. Florida State turns around and loses to Jacksonville State, and Notre Dame struggled at home to win against Toledo last weekend. This weekend, they have a red-hot Purdue Boilermaker team coming into South Bend. 1:30 NBC Saturday. The Boilermakers take down Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium. You heard it here first. Go Boilermakers.
I'm actually taking the opposite on that. I'm going to take Florida State rolling into Wake Forest. Wake Forest is favored by 5. Put $100. Put it on the money line for Florida State. They're not going 0-3. It's just not going to happen. Wake Forest is only favored. I don't even know what the heck's going on with this. Florida State gets their first win of the season against Wake Forest.
One last thing before we sign off. If Wake Forest beats Florida State this weekend, when we talk next week, we will have 2 schools without a coach. USC and Mike Norvell will be gone at Florida State next week if they lose to Wake Forest.
Damn, Stingray, you coming hot.
Coming in. I don't think so, but we'll see. You never know. The seat will be hot, though, in Tallahassee.
Well, I tell you what, guys, it was a great show, but I'll tell you what, I really do feel that Clemson may upset Georgia Tech. I don't care what anybody says. Go Tigers.
Georgia Tech covers the spread.
Georgia Tech wins the game, period.
Georgia Tech wins the game and drive it to your house, and I'm punching you.
I call it here. Georgia Tech, the Bumblebees, ACC. Let's go, baby.
You got to go to the swamps. I wouldn't be talking too much.
Who are we talking to? My team's going to win. My team's going to win.
My team's going to win.
You scared. You scared of me. That's why. You scared of me. That's why.
I am kind of scared of you because mentally you shouldn't be wearing a hat and sunglasses inside.
Mentally, your hairline's going back that bad.
You know why he's wearing the sunglasses inside? Because he's looking at the future of the CTS, and boys, it is bright.
Wow. With that note, Stingray closes out.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition. We hope that you guys have enjoyed it, and we will see you guys right back here on the CTS next week for another 3rd and 3 of awesomeness right here. Have a great weekend, and enjoy your college football, everyone.